and I will add that also Fiona is a long-time supporter of this conference with the quadraScope, and by the way, also is Peter. So thanks for that. Thanks for helping to make this possible. And here's Fiona's talk.
Hello, and thank you for the opportunity to present. My name is Fiona Miller. I'm managing partner at quadraScope Ventures. We are a venture fund in Boston investing in healthcare companies that are developing treatments for diseases by addressing the hallmarks of aging. I will provide an update on our industry. At this summer's ARDD conference in Copenhagen, for the first time we saw longevity healthcare move into the mainstream. Big Pharma, Eli Lilly, and Novo Nordisk use language such as first longevity drug and proven longevity medicine, referring to their obesity drugs. Obesity is like a hallmark of aging in that it is the root cause of many diseases, including type 2 diabetes, heart attack and stroke, fatty liver, chronic kidney disease, and Alzheimer's. And just like a longevity drug, it had to be approved for a disease first, and only later as a treatment for the root cause of other diseases. And just like longevity therapies, obesity drugs are now being used off-label by healthy individuals. Today, dozens of pharma companies are in human trials to cure diseases by treating the hallmarks of aging, such as cellular senescence, chronic inflammation, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Here's our chief scientist, Dr. Jose Navarro Betancourt, delving into the causal relationship between the hallmarks of aging and disease.
So mitochondrial dysfunction is a key hallmark of aging. You may actually need to fix mitochondria before addressing the other hallmarks of aging. The essence is that all the hallmarks of aging are interconnected with each other. But some researchers argue that some hallmarks are more fundamental than others. And in the case of mitochondria, there is an argument to be made that if the cells don't have the right amount, the right capacity to produce energy, other interventions might fail. So in that sense, it might be ideal to fix mitochondrial dysfunction as the first hallmark of aging. So why are mitochondria so important? Mitochondria are literally the most effective way that cells have to produce energy. Mitochondria are actually very dynamic organelles. They can fuse and they can divide among themselves, and they can also physically interact with other organelles, including the cell membrane. So perhaps a better way to understand mitochondria are as signaling hubs. These signaling hubs coordinate energy production with other processes relevant for the cell. There has been a very big catalyst for the whole mitochondrial field or the mitochondrial therapeutics field. The FDA granted accelerated approval to Forcinity, which is a drug by Stealth Biotherapeutics. So Forcinity is the first FDA-approved treatment that directly targets mitochondrial dysfunction. And this is also the first disease-modifying therapy for Barth syndrome, which is a mitochondrial disease. So this is a big deal because it will pave the way for other mitochondrial targeted therapies to enter the market. They actually got accelerated approval based on a functional biomarker. In this case, the muscle function, and they specifically measured the knee extensor muscle strength, so basically the thigh. And based on this readout, they were able to convince the FDA that this drug could be potentially disease-modifying and produce a clinical benefit to patients. A key message for investors is that treatments that actually target or restore or preserve mitochondrial function can be truly transformative, both as disease-modifying therapies and even as interventions to extend health span before a disease becomes clinically evident. Now, how do we know that the treatment actually restores or preserves mitochondrial function? That is where the mechanism of action becomes really important. And you need to ask yourself, is this company actually treating a root cause of disease in the sense of the hallmarks of aging, or are they treating a late consequence, a symptom of mitochondrial dysfunction?
XPRIZE Health Span is a worldwide competition for a $101 million prize to a company that can reverse human aging. 3 of our portfolio companies made semifinals. Immunis, Advantage, and Healthy Longevity Clinic were among only 40 semifinalists out of more than 700 competing teams.
The Immunis has a secretome product produced by immune system stem cells. So what's a secretome? So a secretome product is the collection of all the secretions of a cell, in this case an immune system stem cell. And in the case of Immunis, they have around 400 components, over 400 components actually. And these include proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids, and everything that the cell produces except the cells, obviously. This is a cell-free product. And what Immunis is trying to fix is trying to replace all the secretions that your immune system produces when you're younger, and stops producing it somewhere along the way. So basically, they are targeting a very, very upstream or a very, very early stage in immune system dysfunction. So basically, Immunis is looking at this really root cause of the root cause of disease, or like the root cause of the hallmark of aging. So this secretome component, 400 plus proteins, fixes inflammation in a way that a single molecule cannot. This is really powerful. How they got a hint that the immune system was important is by looking at the satellite cells. And this is an important concept. Satellite cells are like the stem cells of the muscle. And they discovered that interactions of the immune system with these satellite cells are important in helping the muscle grow, or preventing muscle loss in the context of disuse. So the stimulation of these muscle stem cells is one of the, if you want to dive into the mechanism of action of the secretome, that's one of them. It helps the muscle stem cells do what they are supposed to do, and that's maintain and regrow the muscle. Immunis has published research in animals. They have also discovered some effects in adipose tissue, in fat cells. So it seems that this treatment alone, makes the fat cells burn fat or get rid of the fat and become smaller. They actually completed a phase 1/2A clinical trial. It's a study where the main objective is to prove safety, but you're treating patients with a disease, so you can get some preliminary signals of efficacy. So 1/2A. So they treated patients who had knee osteoarthritis and who could not move the knee. So by not being able to move your leg, it's disuse, and that's a cause of muscle atrophy. And in this population of patients, the treatment with Immunis secretome that they call Immuna, the drug, it helped patients reduce the pain. It reduced some markers of cartilage degeneration and improved some quality of life outcomes, which is really, really important, these patient-reported outcomes. We are still waiting to see the whole results, the complete results, because Immunis is still preparing them, but the top line message is that they were very promising. They were so promising that they actually got clearance for 2 more clinical trials. One trial is it's going to be in the same kind of patients, patients with knee osteoarthritis and immobilization. They are treating muscle atrophy. And a second clinical trial, actually, treating metabolic disease, or treating, the technical term is sarcopenic obesity. So patients who have who are obese, who have but who have some level of age-related muscle atrophy.
Here on the right, you see Dr. Carmela Abraham, CSO of Advantage Therapeutics, responsible for clotho mRNA therapy developed in Israel. BioChange is an Israeli company with growing revenue curing periodontal disease in dogs. They have strong testimonies from surgeons who treat the animals. BioChange is the only company reliably regenerating bone and gum in vivo. Golden Scientific uses extensive biomarker data, including proteomics, genomics, and clinical information, to predict and detect a wide range of health conditions, including Alzheimer's, heart disease, immune disorders, cancer, and other conditions. They too have fast-growing revenue, selling their service to individuals and longevity clinics. To make reliable diagnosis and predictions, Olden has amassed an impressive knowledge base for training their machine learning algorithms. The company has access to the UK Biobank, Digital Knee OnCommune Immunology dataset, and Dr. Dean Ornish's Alzheimer's dataset. Today, these datasets form one of the most extensive healthcare knowledge bases in the world. Vincere is developing treatments for Parkinson's and other diseases related to mitochondrial dysfunction. Vincere's treatments may also address skin aging, acute kidney injury, metabolic disease, diabetic kidney disease, cardiovascular disease, and cancer. In conclusion, we're seeing strong momentum in the longevity market, with Big Pharma entering the field. And Big Pharma is always looking for acquisitions, opening exits for young companies in the audience and in our portfolio. Our portfolio is positioned to deliver substantial returns while helping all of us stay healthy into old age. We welcome limited partners who understand the tremendous potential of longevity medicine. Let's invest in healthy lifespans together.